My heart is in.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Let's talk Jermell Charlo against Martirosyan. I didn't do a prediction video, but I did predict on Twitter that Jermell would win this fight. I knew it was going to be a tough fight for him, okay? I knew he wasn't going to perform as good as Demetrius Andrade, okay? I just went with Charlo, but I thought it was a 50-50 fight, just to make that clear. So I didn't do a video, but I really didn't know who was going to win. You know, I went for Charlo. I think Martirosyan is one of the best fighters at 154, without a doubt. I think there's a lot of top 10 fighters that he can still beat, okay? Definitely a bigger challenge than Gabe Rosado was when Jermell Charlo fought him. I think Charlo pretty much shut him out. This fight should have not been a 10-round fight. It should have been a 12-round fight. These are two top 10, arguably top 5 fighters at 154, if you don't include Floyd Mayweather, okay? Now, I thought the fight was a draw, okay? Neither one did enough for me to say that they were the winner, okay? The way I scored it, I think each fighter had about 2 rounds that were very, very clear that they won. All right, I gave them like each of them 2 rounds. So I could say, all right, Charlo won this round and this round. Vanes won 2 rounds. Then there's like about 4 rounds in there that, regardless of who I picked, it could have gone either way. And then there was 2 rounds that I couldn't even decide on. Okay, and it's 10 rounds we're talking here. I couldn't give it a winner. You know, there were rounds like the 8th round where the headbutt was at. Where I thought Jermell was in control for like the first 2 minutes of the round, even a little bit after the headbutt. And then after that, Vanes took the round over. There was a few rounds like that where I thought Charlo was winning the round comfortably, and then Vanes just picked it up and landed some big power shots later or towards the end of the round, which were more effective than Jermell Charlo's punches that he landed for 2 minutes of the round. You know what I'm saying? So it was very, very hard to score. Now, being that I think it was a draw, you got to understand here, all right? I don't throw the word robbery around. You guys have been watching me for a long time. You know I stress the whole robbery thing. I don't throw it around unless it was a decisive win that they gave to the loser, in my opinion, okay? Danny Garcia against Mauricio Herrera was a robbery. There was a fight on ESPN2 late last year, Tyson Cave against, I forgot the guy he was for, Eskandin. I forgot the name of the guy, but that was a recent robbery where Tyson Cave clearly won like almost every round, and they gave it to the other guy. All right, those are robberies. Even Lara, back when Lara fought Paul Williams, that was a robbery. You know, I always remember that. Okay, I thought Lara beat Canelo. I didn't think that was a robbery, okay? But I thought Lara won the fight. So this is not a robbery, in my opinion. As far as the scorecards, I think 97 to 93 was a little wide. But that's based on me saying that it was a draw. And then there's 6 rounds in there that was really tough for me to make a call. So realistically, it's not a robbery. You get what I'm saying? I'm surprised I heard 97 to 93. But at the same time, like, I was expecting either a draw or a split decision, you know, or a majority decision or something like that. I didn't think it would be a unanimous decision, all right? So I don't think it was a robbery. Either way, whoever they gave the fight to, I didn't think it was a robbery, okay? So let's talk more. Let's talk about the 8th round, all right? And I don't want you guys to get things twisted how I explain this. The 8th round, Martirosyan and Jermell Charlo, there was a headbutt, okay? Accidental. Now, Martirosyan, I'm trying to understand what he was doing here, all right? Did he want the ref to decide for him whether or not to stop the fight? Or was he just buying time, okay? Because First of all, the cut really wasn't that bad. There wasn't blood streaming down his eye, into his eye or anything like that. The doctor, I'm sorry, I said the rep before. I meant the doctor. The doctor is looking into his eye. He's telling him, listen, what's the problem? Can you open your eye for me? He's like, are you feeling pain? Can you continue? He's telling him it's blurred. He's like, can you open your eye for I can see it? Vanes is saying, no, I can't. Okay, he's repeatedly saying, I can't. The doctor is just asking him, like, listen, I need you to open your eye. Look at my finger. And Vanes is just keeping his eye tight. You can see it. He's keeping his eye tight shut. And he's asking him, listen, obviously the doctor thought he was fine to continue. He was waiting more on Vanes to continue. And Vanes kept saying, he kept staring at the doctor, listen, I can't open my eye. That's what he's saying. It's blurry. That's what he said. The doctor tried to whisper into his ear and say, listen, unfortunately, he tried to whisper, but those cameras zoomed in, picked it up pretty good. Listen, you either got to fight or you want me to stop the fight. What do you want me to do? And that's when Vanes turned around and jumped back in. Okay. Like I said, to me, it's either Vanes wanted the ref or the doctor to stop the fight for him, or he was just buying time, because it's very clear that the doctor thought he was fine to continue based on what he's seeing. Based on what we all see. We see a lot. We see a lot of cuts. Okay, a lot worse than that. Okay, the cut really wasn't that big. It wasn't no huge swelling. If you've seen the Keith Thurman Guerrero fight, you saw what happened there. There's plenty of fights I can give you examples of cuts. I'm not going to do that, okay? The cut really wasn't that bad. Vanes was just holding his eyes shut. And the doctor is like, listen, I need you to open your eye. And he's saying, I can't. Okay, and the doctor's like, well, do you want me to continue or want me to stop the fight? You want me to call the fight off? So I'm going to leave that for you guys to decide, okay? I think it's either one or the other between those two. I'm not trying to call Vanes a quitter by any means, but what I'm saying is it wasn't bad enough for the doctor to stop the fight. And he wasn't going to stop the fight unless Vanes said he can't continue, okay? But visually, it wasn't that bad. So I don't know where you guys want to go there, all right? Now, as far as Vanes' post-fight interview, the whole running thing is getting out of control, okay? The running thing, the robbery thing is getting out of control. This is another fight again where, the loser is saying the guy was running, okay? Yes, Vanes was pressing the action more than Jermell Charlo, which is expected. Vanes is a very, 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 very extremely aggressive fighter. Jermell Charlo isn't, okay? He wasn't going to be. Vanes hits harder. He's more durable, okay? He's usually getting hit a lot, and I actually was surprised because I thought this was a very, very technical fight. The reason why Jermell Charlo had such a hard time, especially in those early rounds, was because Vanes took away his jab, okay, which is his best weapon early, okay? He didn't take it away to a point where Jermell wasn't using it anymore, but Jermell was very, very cautious. Usually he's throwing his jab with confidence. In this fight, he didn't, okay, because very early on, you saw Vanes' hand speed when he was countering Jermell with a counter jab while he was throwing, after Jermell was throwing his jab, okay, and Jermell was trying to block Vanes' counter with his glove instead of using his reflexes and moving his head. He was trying to block it. He looked very uncomfortable and actually threw him off balance when he was trying to block it with his gloves every single time, okay? So he looked very uncomfortable early. I think when Jermell, I believe it was the third round, when Jermell started to open up a little more, okay, throwing more combinations, throwing more power punches, okay, I think that's when things started to change. He got a little comfortable, but the pacing kept going back and forth because when Jermell started to become more aggressive, then Vanes started being more aggressive. We know he's the bigger aggressor. Then Jermell went back to popping the jab. The pacing kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No fighter really was in control, okay? Demetrius Andrade, lets his hands a lot. He lets his hands go a lot more than Jermell. He has more power than Jermell. He has more length. You know, he's the southpaw with the wide stance. It was harder for Vanes to really get in. The only time he got in is when he countered him and dropped Demetrius Andrade early in that fight. But, you know, Andrade lets his hands go a lot more. He'll stand right in front of you and scrap with you. Jermell is not really that type of fighter, as we can see. He wasn't running, but that's what happened, okay? So, Vanes did very good, though. I was very surprised with him and his technical skills. Usually he's getting hit a lot. That wasn't the case in this fight. Okay, you know, he was doing good with the counters. His hand speed looked pretty impressive. Even his movement and everything was pretty good compared to the recent fights with Andre and Willie Nelson, where we saw him get hit a lot in those fights. All right. So anyway, what's next for Jermell? I don't know. You know, I would like to see him fight like a Austin Trout. That would be a good fight. I think Vanes Martirosyan is like the highest gatekeeper out there. You know, I think Vanes could beat a K9. I think he can beat K9 Bundrage, honestly. The mix with his boxing ability and his aggression, I think he could beat K9, and his power as well. There's top fighters that I think he can beat. I don't think he can beat Canelo. I don't think anyone can clearly beat Canelo. I think Andre might have the best shot, but I'm not even sure if he can clearly beat Canelo. I don't think anyone can. We've seen what happened with Lara. We've seen what happened with Austin Trout. Obviously, I'm talking outside of Floyd Mayweather here. But I think Jermell Charlo should fight, you know, either, you know, I mean, he's ready for a title shot. A lot of these guys are ready for a big fight. I don't know if Canelo would even entertain fighting him, you know, but all of these guys earn their shot at a title or whether it's the big fight with Canelo, okay? Floyd, I'm not even going to put him in the picture here because Floyd just visits 154. I know he holds a title there, but he's not fighting any of these guys. So I'm not going to even entertain that. But if we're excluding Floyd, the Demetrius Andrade fight could still happen. You know, Jermell, the other twin, he also fought that night. It's time for him to step up, okay? Jermell already had two, you know, good fights here. You had a fight with Gabe Rosado. He got a fight with Vanes Martirosyan now. What's going on with Jermell, okay? Is he should fight any of these guys too. I know he wanted to fight with K9, but K9 didn't want to fight him. I know Ishe Smith is still around. It's not that many options here, you know, because the Charlo twins are not going to fight each other, and they're not going to fight Lara. So you only have Andrade, you have Julius Williams, you got K9, you know, you got Canelo, you know, and you got Austin Trout. You got a few other fighters. You know, you got Joshua Clyde, he's still in the mix. So we'll see what happens next. Same thing for Vanes Martirosyan, okay? He's a good challenger for anybody, anyone at 154. He's going to be a tough fight for, okay? Outside of Andrade, I don't want to see that rematch because Andrade clearly won that fight. Lara and Charlo didn't clearly beat. You know, I thought Lara edged the fight at that point, but it was very tough. It was very close, just like this fight was, okay? And Vanes is a tough fighter. You got to give him credit. You can't say you're not impressed because these are two top fighters at 154, Charlo and Martirosyan. All right, so anyway, let me know what you guys think or what you want to see from these two fighters in the future. Give me your thoughts on the whole headbutt thing. I actually went back and watched it again before I made this video because I wanted to be clear on what I heard. Okay, I'm not really sure where Vanes was going with this here because, like, you got a headbutt, you got a cut, but the doctor's not trying to check it out. You're pretty much coming to the doctor saying, I can't open my eye. All right, so what do you want the doctor to do? You leave it in his hands. And I kind of have an issue with that because it's like the doctor doesn't think it's that bad, but you're telling him you can't see. All right, when he's asking you to open your eye, and you're saying it's blurry. All right, well, it's blurry. What do you want me to do? You want me to stop the fight? And once it came down to that, he was finally like, all right, let me jump back in the mix. So was he buying time, or was he looking for a way out of the fight? All right, so let me know what you guys think on that, and I'll be right back with a few more videos.